Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. We are back analyzing gold, otherwise known as the big old XAUUSD. Hope everybody is excited, right? We had a massive push for FOMC, didn't we? Fantastic, lovely push that we had. 456 pip push. And we're back. We're back to have a look at what this push actually means for gold, where we're currently sitting for gold, what we're potentially going to be doing for tomorrow. Do we have news tomorrow? Let me just give it a check. But yeah, we're in a different area for gold, right? It's always exciting. We're always trading something slightly different at the moment. We were in our previous range for a while. It's good to get a change of pace, right? Doesn't matter what kind of area we're in, but as long as we're in some area, we're good. We're able to trade it. But yes, welcome back, everyone. We will be starting very shortly. And we have chat today. So say welcome to chat. So yeah, FOREX Factory, we are able to see that tomorrow we do have news. We have core retail sales. And we have unemployment claims. Massive folders. This week has been absolutely stacked. Honestly, we could see some pretty aggressive moves tomorrow, but we've been seeing pretty aggressive moves every single day. So what does that mean for gold, right? We'll get started very, very soon. But yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? Were you guys all on Don's stream for FOMC? I'm assuming everybody was. You're in a 600 market pip position. Wow. Yes, I am Elvis. I need to get this camera set up. People keep... No, I wasn't there. Unfortunately, I was in a meeting for a startup. And they're still currently having the meeting, but I had to exit earlier because I have to stream, right? Wish we had FOMC. Nah, honestly, you wish. Once you see news enough, like some of these pushes, you're only able to maybe take advantage of like 10, 20 pips or whatever. If you had pushes like this every single day or every single week, it gets to a point where you actually want price to do something else, because with this you can actually read structure, right? There's actually stuff forming here. With this, there's nothing. Like you have no bottom wick. You just start pushing, right? Cool. Guys, I'm gonna get started here. Obviously going to remove all my lines. Straight to the monthly chart. Check that I am unmuted on Zooms. Fantastic. Cool. Look at this. The monthly has created a bottom wick. Where are we gonna go? I don't know, right? All I can tell you is that previous monthly was bullish. We previously closed above the range for the first time in history. We then pushed up all the way. We had a range. I'm just a broken clock at the moment. Like I'm just saying the same thing every single time, right? But broken record aside, we filled the range towards 2075, pushed up a couple hundred pips, right? And now we're coming down, right? We're coming down. So what does that mean, right? Any given point, because we had the closure last month above, this could just be a bottom wick for the monthly. Because if you just look at the daily or the weekly, previously we didn't have a bottom wick for last week, and price just started pushing up, right, and did that. But there's nothing we can do if price continues to do that, right? So now that we have a bottom wick for the monthly, and we have a bottom wick for the weekly, if this starts flipping and we get closures above again, we will retest all-time highs. That's what it's looking like, right? Because any given point, monthly close bullish, so I'm bullish for this month of December. But we didn't have a bottom wick. We did create a top wick, so if it was going to flip, it would flip. We start coming down. So if you re-break these lows, I'm pretty certain that you'll come down. At the moment, what you have is you have a low, you have some sort of retracement, which indicates that if you want to continue down, all you need to do is break this low. Once you break this low at 1969, you'll start coming down. And once that happens, cool, we'll take price down to, anywhere between 1919, 1830, wherever that is, right? But at that point, price is definitely bearish. currently, if you just look at this, you've created a high, right? This high here, right? And then you pushed up. Now you came down to here. So if you now have retraced back to up to here, your next move, if it comes down, then cool, we're bearish. If it now starts pushing up again and you actually close above here, then cool, we're bullish to continue up, right? But we don't know that until we get a monthly closure, which is going to happen in, maybe around 20 odd days. But yeah, so at the moment, all I can say is that the monthly is still bullish. Even though we have a top wick and we're coming down, previously we were bearish because, we grabbed a massive top wick. It was looking like you're closing below on the weekly as well. But now, if I go to the weekly, your weekly has a bottom wick. Your previous weekly, right, closed below the range here, but your current weekly hasn't closed yet. If your current weekly is going to close back above this range, I would say ideally it closes back above here, right, above 2036. So we don't have to worry about if it's closing above here or whatever, right? But if it starts closing above these ranges again, then cool. What we'll look for is that monthly, retest of the highs, which is going to be from here to here, which is 800, nearly 900 pips, right? So there's definitely range for us to drive, but the key thing will be the weekly close. And we have 2 days left until the weekly close. So just wait, right? But I would say you came down, you retested these lows, you came down, right? Broke the previous weekly lows, now you're flipping up. So what does that indicate? All right, I'm pretty bullish. Is my daily going to close without a top wick? The answer is likely yes, due to this FOMC push, right? How the daily opens up tomorrow, no idea. Or sorry, not tomorrow, but in like 26 minutes, no idea, right? How is because the weekly the daily has no top wick, does that mean we have no liquidity to drive up? Not necessarily, right? Because we have news, right? We analyzed here that we have core retail sales, we have retail sales month over month, we also have unemployment claims. So we have news events which can push price, right? If FOMC can push price 400 odd pips, then unemployment claims can probably also push price up or down 400 pips, and we'll just watch it. But overall, your daily closing no top wick is an indication that you'll need a bit of retracement before you're going up. But I'm now bullish because overall, right, you have now closed back above this range. Let's say you can put your range here, and if you wanted, you can put it above here, right? But overall, I'm bullish, right? I'm back into this range up to here, so you can expect probably a fill up to 2036 around these areas, right? For tomorrow's candle, because if you're breaking back into this range, obviously you have no top wick, right? You can expect price to likely tap around these areas if it wants to continue the bullish action. But because we have no top wick, there's also a chance that price will just, flip down. So what will that look like? That will look like this, where you have a fake out, right, on the daily, and you may get no top wick, and it starts coming down like this. So this is why I'm saying the daily opening will be quite important, right? If the daily opens up no top wick and it starts pumping down, it might not be possible for us to get into any buys because the previous daily had no top wick. We can't really look for the flip of the daily as well, because if this was your 5-minute candle, if this is 5-minute structure, you'd be thinking, there's a high chance that price is just going to fake out to come down because previously we were bearish. And this may be the liquidity we need for price to actually retest all the lows. And where are those lows, right? Because we previously closed respecting around here or just below, I would say here. So now that you want to come down, right, you needed liquidity, you got that higher time frame liquidity, right? You have these weekly top wick areas, looking around these areas, potentially 2031, 20, like if it comes all the way back up to 2042, maybe 40, whatever, right? We could be looking for some swings to come down. But overall, I'm, mixed bias for tomorrow. Slightly towards bullish, but again, you'll have to very much just watch price. What time is unemployment claims? Unemployment claims is at 1:30. Okay. I think that's 8:30 or 7:30 in Don's time. But overall, right, just wait for price to print some structure, because I do, like, just based off what this is, I probably today likely at this moment won't have any levels for sells or buys. And it makes sense that I can't, right? Because I have no structure to work off of. What am I going to look at? I'm going to look at a 5 structure. There's no structure on the 5. It's just pushing up. Is there a structure on the 1? No. there's nothing there, right? So we'll still do our overall analysis, but the key thing is you did break below 1981, 80, 80, 82 sorts of areas on the daily. You could say you potentially respected this area, which is why you're now driving back up. But if you really want that bearish structure, you probably want a top wick for the daily, which will do something like this, break some of these highs, and then come down, and we'll look for these sells to come down, right? Because no top wick, any given point, I'm more bearish if it creates a top wick and then starts flipping. But if it doesn't create a top wick and it starts flipping like this, it'll be difficult for us to get into any sells. And what we'll need potentially will be unemployment claims, right? So if price opens up like this, starts coming down, what I'll need is probably unemployment claims to come up, break all those, wicks or whatever that it's going to form during Asian or whatever, and then flip back bearish, break the lows, and we'll look to take that position. Right, and what's that going to look like? That's going to look like, you may have this initially come down, right? You're coming down slowly, something like this. You then suddenly break all the highs, and then you start closing below, or you re-break that low, and we could either, I'd say the wick entries, maybe, but once you break these lows again, you should be pretty much confirmed to come down. So that's the structure I'll need for the sells. Buy structure, relatively similar, but just in the opposite direction, right? Obviously, you have no daily top wick, so it's slightly more difficult. But again, if your daily comes down first and then flips, there is a chance you can still get buys if you get a steeper bottom wick, right? Just looking left, just see where we potentially need that bottom wick at. So closure above these areas where you tapped into potentially into these areas, right? So around 88. Which is quite far away, or maybe even around these areas towards 2000s. So obviously we have unemployment claims, which could push price multiple hundreds of pips up and down. So if it does come down to these areas, what I'll look for is probably not the buy wicks because you have no top wick, but probably the flip. So if price comes down, flips, cool, we'll look for that, right? And the bottom wick anywhere around these areas, around 2000, would be ideal. Another scenario is if price starts pushing up, similar to the sells that I just told you about, right? Sorry, if price pushes up, say you have a bottom wick or whatever, but not the steepest, something like this, right? And then you come down, break all the wicks, and then you flip. Cool. I'll look for this, right? And obviously with this position, you probably don't need the bottom wick to break all the way down to 2000, but confirming that you're breaking all the lows, creating a daily bottom wick, and then reflipping to break the daily high where it's at that moment will be pretty good for us to continue taking price up to retest these highs. But that's the overall direction that I have, right? Yes, market is opening up back in 20 minutes, but again, your daily is going to close with no top wick. Your 4 hours is going to close with no top wick. And it doesn't really look like you've grabbed much liquidity. Like I wouldn't say this is a very strong liquidity grab. I mean, it is some liquidity, not the most ideal amount of liquidity for me to justify this, right? So if any given point price starts retracing this entire move, I would just say that's what we could have expected for sure. But again, if price wants to drive up and you've got this move, you may only get liquidity retracement up to around these areas, around 2000, and you may start seeing that push up, right? What is the most realistic scenario? I don't care what is the most realistic scenario. I'm just going to watch price print, right? I'm not going to go predict the scenario because at the moment, everything is 50-50 for me. The sells, the buys, if it's going to come out, push up first or push down first, I have no idea. And I don't need to have an idea, right? All I need to do is wait till price opens and I'll see it, right? It's not like I'm in a trade right now where I need to understand, okay, price is going to push X, Y, Z, right? But I can just wait. Does that kind of make sense, Ninjo? Because there's no need for us to read price all the time when, especially during these times, right? When we don't know what price is doing. I don't need to understand price 24/7. I only need to know what price is doing when I see the exact setups that I have, right? And when I see those exact setups, then I'm like, cool, right? I know what price is likely to do because I've seen the setup multiple times before. So cool, I'll get into a trade. Two questions from Jay. Do you have multiple accounts, e.g. one for swing trading and one for day trading? Secondly, could you explain some examples? Could I explain sample sizing? Okay, so number one, I was trading some funded accounts previously, but I'm gonna change up my funding strategy after having blown my second funding account, which I'll probably get into funding maybe next year or whatever, right? But I'm just trying to figure out a strategy for funding that works for me. Obviously, I've only been trading for about 8 months with Don, so there's still areas for me to improve. I'm not admitting that like, oh wow, there's so much stuff that I don't know. I'm like a bad trader. I'm just gonna give you, purely honest advice, right? That's basically it. So I have one live account that I'm currently trading, and I'll probably have both swings and day trades on the same account. I would say for that one, just because it's a live account, I can risk exactly what I want. And there's no like limit or whatever, there's no rules, right? So yeah. And then in terms of sample sizing, what we have in terms of entries and setups, so for example, we're sample sizing the breakout, right? What do we need to see, right? For example, we have these ranges here. Once I get a breakout above here, then cool. Let's draw that out actually, right? So say I get a breakout like this. Cool. What I'll sample size is I'll take a position with one of the different entries that we have. So potentially break of the current high or the flip. This is the flip. This is the break of previous high. And this is potentially a wick entry anywhere in here, right? But I'll take an entry, and then as price plays out, I'll just journal it. So I have a journal, right? I developed the journal for the new journal for DVS, and essentially from there, you just journal it, and then you see over time, what is your win rate for that exact setup and entry? And then over time, we're able to understand that, okay, this setup, this entry has X% win rate. So should I take it, considering that I see it the next time? Maybe, if it's a high win rate, or maybe not, if it's a low win rate. And that's basically sample sizing. What we do is more called forward sample sizing, all right, where you kind of do analysis of your gold or whatever pair you're trading, and then you take positions on live charts and you record that, right? And that's sample sizing continuously going forward into the future. Whereas back testing, right? So forward testing and back testing, I think that's the actual term. Back testing is where you go like do it in the replay tool, go back to like 2020 or whatever, and you just continually find multiple entries and you test to see if those worked using the replay tool. So there's multiple ways to do it, but to fully capture the whole essence of trading, including emotions, psychology, and all of that, you need to kind of do forward testing on top of back testing if you think that works for you. But yeah. When do you decide to take closure entries or wick entries or flip entries? It depends on the amount of confirmation I need, right? So for example, forward testing is literally just when you take trades live and you record that. Back testing is when you use the replay tool and you test trades that has happened before, so you can do that for like the past 3 years of history. So for example, if I'm looking for a breakout above here, right, when would I take the breakout? Just flip. All right, this is the flip entry. When would I take that? It's probably where I've already grabbed liquidity. So previously maybe price has come up from these areas after printing, or not that steep necessarily, but where price has potentially closed something like this, where you've grabbed liquidity after printing bearish, something like that, and you've broken some lows, right? You've broken some lows or whatever it is, and then now you've grabbed liquidity, and then it's looking like you want to continue pushing up through that breakout. So at this case, I'll probably look for off the rip, because I'm understanding that if price already grabbed this liquidity, it's likely to push high, right, and quick. If it hasn't grabbed liquidity, in the case where it's just something like that, what I'll look for is potentially a wick entry, because I'm understanding that liquidity needs to be grabbed. Overall, I'm still bullish. So if I take the wick entry, I have a better advantage point, which is probably the flip of this candle. So I can take advantage of this part as well, right? But with the wick entry, what you need to see is probably gold is relatively bullish, right? You need to see some structure being formed, respected. But overall, you're bullish. You can probably look to take this confirmation to continue up. When do you take, what was the third entry? closure entry. Yeah, closure entry is basically a flip entry. So you either take the flip or you take, this entry. Sometimes we wait for, a bottom wick and then we wait for the flip to go up, right? And that's when we have slightly less confirmation. So for example, when we do need to see a bottom wick, but price, is just breaking out of one range, and we want to take it up to the next range, but, potentially, like say it's in this scenario where you have this range instead, right? You're overall bearish, right? But if you break out above here, there's a chance you want to go up. But I'm worried it's going to come down first. So what I would potentially look for is firstly the bottom wick here, the liquidity grab. You get a breakout. Then I'll probably wait for a bottom wick as well. So something that will look like this. So I have a breakout. I have liquidity from previous areas, right? So like this is my liquidity. And then if price then creates a bottom wick first, I look to have a buy stop. And I'll take the flip of this candle to continue up. Yeah, does that make sense? Seller buy? Neither. Wait for price to print something. Does Asian only push up where about could it create a top wick for the next daily to come down? I reckon swing wise there is a chance. If we do come up towards our levels, we could get a swing. In terms of the market, if we want to take it down, you'll need to see a top wick to come down, or if it comes down, right, it comes down to multiple areas, then you come back up, retest all those highs, and then you come down, then maybe, right, maybe we can take the retest of those lows. Yeah, day trading. So yeah, we do also have some swing trades occasionally. So if we come back up to like weekly levels, potentially like 2047 or whatever, we may take some sell swings, but it'll depend. It'll depend. Do you know why Don didn't take the 30-minute flip on his first trade? He took the buy stop instead. So I was looking for something different. But I think I ended up taking his trade because I got into a meeting and I couldn't do like full analysis of the charts. Where was it? It was this, wasn't it? It was somewhere around here. Was it this? I forgot where it was, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Was it this? Oh, it was this, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was doing a bunch of this shit here. And then we got into a buy around here. For me, I think after these candles closed, like respecting here, this candle, yeah, I mean, we were expecting this to come up, but overall, I would say if you wanted to come down anyways, you probably needed a steeper top wick, right? Because if you just look at overall structure here, what did you create, right? You have a range, you created this kind of push up, right? You didn't go up that much further because you stopped around here. You then started coming down, but you didn't break these lows, right? And then you broke all the lows, then you came back into the range. At this point, you're understanding that, okay, you're probably, if you do want to break these lows, either you'll, retest these lows after breaking these highs up to here. So what you'll see is potentially something that looks like this. You'll get a breakout below, right? But you'll see a top wick that's further above, breaking these highs, right? To come down. Or if you do really want to get those sells, then what you could get is, price coming down to these areas. And then as that's happening, you're going to get top wicks to come down anyways to do something like this. And that's what we're looking for. So if that happens, we'll get an exit around these areas anyways, right? But in general, we're understanding that price tried to break below, couldn't. So as it's pushing up, we're looking to take those buys advantage up to these areas, which, I think we exited in profit as well. We came back up to these areas, right? I think I took it up to this exact point here. Thanks for educating. Yeah, no worries, mate. Hey, Elvis, love the growth of your journey from the first time you started trades. Do you think price will be going to all-time highs with this push or even 2100, or is this a liquidity grab? I don't know. That's the simple answer. Honestly, I would say price can do anything at this point. With price being like, what this looks like to me is potentially price being manipulated. You have news or whatever, but this push seems to be out of nowhere, right? And like the last time you got pushes similar to that were like these pushes, where you had gold retesting all the lows for the monthly here, and then you just started pushing. So if this is the beginning of something else that looks like this, we could just look to take price continually back up.
The liquidity here is too low.
Yeah, sorry guys, I just have a mate who's just in the room at the moment.
Elvis, when are you actually off? Elvis, have you told them about the £2,000 you lost yesterday?
Oh yeah, I lost so many pounds yesterday. That's it.
When are you flying?
Friday.
As in tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
See you next year, mate. As in 2 days?
2 days. Right, so, right, let us continue. Sorry about that. We had a meeting just now and they're just about to leave. Where were we? What would you recommend when starting? Oh yeah, all-time highs. Yeah, like if this is market manipulation for us to continue pushing up, because you have some like relatively unjustified. If you start printing structure before going up, then you're fine, right? Then you're fine. But if you don't and you start pushing up, we may just continue to ride the buys up to retest those all-time highs. And obviously, once you break past like 2090 or whatever, you'll just push, man. But that's the thought there. What is strange is that 30-minute candle does not have a palm wick. Is that like a bottom wick or like a top wick? This is actually playbook gold for real. They keep SI sellers and keep rising to retest. I mean, if you say so. Elvis, did you go through a gambling phase in your trip? Yeah, man. I was gambling hard previously. But yeah, let's unmute some of the boys on the... Sup, Connor, how you doing? Yeah, not bad. Let me just answer this last question really. Did I go through the gambling phase? Yeah, so I previously I traded news multiple times, like 6-7 times before I met Don, and then after I met Don, I was like, oh, this is actually like gold news, right? It's affecting news or whatever. So at that point, I was like, okay, cool. Like, looks like news. I can make a lot of money here. So I started to trade news, right? But after a while, I realized it was inconsistent. I'd make money someday and I'd lose all the money the next day. So I think the last time I traded news, I messaged Don. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not trading news anymore. And ever since then, I kind of just stuck to that principle and I haven't traded news since, unless I'm in a trade, right? And then I literally can't do anything. But yeah. Sup? How you doing, Connor?
Pretty good.
What were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say someone was asking if this could be perceived as like a liquidity grab to go back down, but obviously there's news manipulation, so it's a bit harder. You have to take that into account, I would assume.
Yeah.
But also because of the day closure above like 2018, 2020.
Oh, you cut out there for a bit. You still there with us, Connor? I think you cut out there, mate. Yeah,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
it'd be harder to assume that it's either just a liquidity grab because we closed above like 2020. I mean, and since there's no top wick, you can't just say it's a closure above either. So is that kind of why you don't really know direction?
I think in general, I don't know direction because I have conflicting time frames, right? My monthly created a top wick was coming down all the way. This could just be a small retracement for us to retest the lows. So I'm like kind of mixed a little bit because this could also be a bottom wick for the monthly to continue driving up. The weekly, right? I did close below, so at any given point for this week, I am also bearish, but I've already created bottom wick. I broke the previous weekly low. It's now flipping up. It could be a fake out to continue up, right? That's conflicting as well. Your daily at this point didn't really grab liquidity and now it's pushing back up. Is this part a fake out? Or is this part a fake out? Right? So that's confusing as well. So it's just even just on all those time frames, it's not clear. Right? I think we said yesterday that you have a level at 1981. You did create a top wick and now you're flipping bearish. At any given point, you could have just pushed straight down, right? That was the logical thing, with the monthly, with the weekly, and the daily. That was the logical thing that I was just gonna push straight down. You had a level towards this area, 1977, which you could have respected as well. But even if you were to respect, you'd break the lows, right? So you broke the lows, you started coming back up. But you just had news, and news just pushed, and there's nothing we could really analyze from. Like, we're only a couple hours after news, right? There's nothing we could have done. Like, look at this. No bottom wick, no bottom wick, no top wick, no top wick. Like, there's no structure. You could say you had like a closure above 2020 and then another closure above there. So you may be looking to say, yeah, you're probably a little bit more bullish than whatever. But again, it's like your daily has no top wick. Your push didn't come from anything, right?
Yeah.
Because if you really wanted to push up, what we would expect is probably you to, this candle firstly needs a bottom wick if it was actually like a normal push up and not a news push up. So, you had this structure, you had a breakout here, a fake out to come back in. If anything, this was a confirmation you didn't have enough liquidity to push at that point. This probably was not enough liquidity, because if you had enough liquidity, this next candle would have done something like this, right? And it didn't. So what you needed is probably this candle to come down, break some of these lows to come up. Something like this, right? Where you have a candle that looks something like that, right? But you didn't have that, so it's just the influence of news at the moment. So yeah, a little bit more difficult today in terms of putting levels, which is why I'm not putting any levels. Yeah, if you just understand that, and this is why our strategy is good, because we're not predicting price definitely needs to do X, Y, or Z. Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I wasn't really looking at all the other time frames initially. I was just kind of looking at it just on the daily, but in terms of the monthly, weekly, everything you showed, nothing makes sense at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a big reason why that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the only way price makes sense again, like I think I said on the monthly, is if it's created this could be a monthly retracement. If it comes back down, cool, yeah, we'll look to take the sells to come down here, right? You could also potentially get some sells if you start closing below, like, I don't know, here, for example, like 1992 to come down, or any sells below here maybe, but like I wouldn't really touch this range here, I would say. Mainly because if you are to retrace, any given point, price can just do something like this to come up, right? Or because there's no top wick, you could do something like this, break the highs, and then come down. Like, there's so many variables that could happen. So, and like at this given point, I have no idea what the variables are because there's no structure. I don't know which highs need to be broken or which lows need to be broken. So until that happens, I can't do anything.
The range you said you wanted to avoid will also kind of be a range one breakout anyway. So if you don't
Yeah. So
overall,
overall this range, because you could say you had like a breakout above 2025 or whatever, right? But again, it's like no top wick, is that a breakout, right? And you were previously in this range here. You didn't really grab too much liquidity, so I'm expecting a push with this liquidity, but all the way up past here, probably not. So if you do get a retracement all the way down to here and then you start ranging here, all right, something like this, that's that's not out of the question. And then once you get that, what I'll look for is price probably, at that point, because it's consolidating here, right? And you've moved past this area, you're probably somewhat bullish, but what I'll need is probably liquidity. And then probably I'll look for flips to come back in, like probably a fake out to come back in to come retest. Or second option, if it is then bearish, what I'll need is probably a break of these highs to come down. But that's basically what I'll be looking for in terms of price. But wait for it to settle somewhere first. I'm expecting probably priced to have a little bit of a gap today, mainly because after FOMC you just ended it with a push. Whether that gap is up or down, I don't know, right? Ayo, we have 91 concurrent viewers, 30 likes. That is a third of you. Like up the streams, boys. For understanding, I started trading for 3 months in demo now. I want to do it with a real account. My question, what would you recommend more to start with? Funded, small account, or live? How much? Okay, I would definitely say start with the live and only put $100 in there, right? If you can't afford $100 in there, then probably put like 50 or like something that you're able to still trade like a live account, but you like, because you need to feel emotion. If you trade a demo account, you can pop like a 500 lot and feel nothing, right? What you need is to feel something. Once you feel that, when you win money, when you lose money, you'll understand how it feels to trade money, right? A loss will still affect you and a win will still affect you, but that's what you need to get used to, right? And what I'll trade is, on that account, trade the minimum lot size, which is 0.01. And why do you trade 0.01? Because it's the lowest amount you can win or lose, right? So you're giving yourself just a learning opportunity. Like, it's not about the money at that point. It's not about, like, oh yeah, I'm going to flip this account to X, Y, and Z. It's not about like, oh yeah, I'm going to lose my account really quickly because I'm risking a lot on this really small account. It's all about learning, right? And if you're using a 0.01, that's exactly what you're doing. You're proving to yourself that you can trade before you go to a bigger account or potentially a funded account, right? There's no point going to a funded immediately because the funded gives you restrictions on how to trade, right? The fundeds also, they want you to lose so they can make money. And the fundeds, like, in general, you still have to pay for them. And like, even if it's like a small funded account, you still have to pay a certain amount for it. So it's not worth it, I think, to start with a funded. Look, okay, you had an opening, you have a bit of a gap, right? It's coming down. Not that large of a gap, just a bit. But that's what we're expecting, right? Because price pushed up so aggressively. 33 pip gap, it's not too bad. But again, nothing I can do. Right, your daily, your 30 closed no top wick right here. I guess it closed, respecting this level, but again, there's nothing. How lots you use? I'm assuming that question means how many, like, what's my lot size? So I'm currently trading my live account, which is only like 1.5k or something, and I'm using 0.1 lots. So what I'm trying to do is ignore money for as long as I can trade, and then when I'm fully profitable, well, I'll probably also go for a funded like sometime next month, whenever I buy that. But at the moment, the live. The strategy works on every single pair as long as it's a technical pair. No. Don is copying the account, trades over, but yeah, I think the account size is just relatively similar. You're in phase 2. You've been learning for 3 months. Congrats, man. Keep it up. Any other questions from the Zooms? Jacob, Tom?
I got nothing about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't mind, yeah. No, I'm playing.
No, there's nothing. Like, honestly, with this structure, what can we do, right?
Yeah, man. So,
It's like, I mean, I didn't expect price to do this much for FOMC, but were you guys there watching the stream?
yeah.
Man, I wish I was there. You weren't there. This would have been insane. I wanted to watch the push.
There was one, I'm not sure what counter, but it was 115 where it closed above the range on 15, but the previous 30 had closed below, but then that next 15 closed above, and then the next 30 closed above. I forgot what happened. I kind of just hopped off the charts.
Oh, fair. But this 1 minute candle pushed 100 pips. What the Look, do you see this? Jesus, that's pretty sick. Yeah, yeah, not much to analyze besides this, guys. Taking any questions, though. if we retrace, if we have a retracement, the 2008, 2007 is a nice support. So where was that I just analyzed? If it retraces, yeah, around 2004, around 2004 to 2010, this area would be nice for it to retrace to. By any given point, because there's no volume at the moment, it could just retrace here. And if you see that, we'll probably look to get some structure that looks like this. If it wants to continue up, if it wants to go down, then we'll probably see structure that looks like this, right? That's what we'll see. Can you quickly explain? What was that? Yeah, I keep asking him to unmute, but he just doesn't come off unmute. Can you quickly explain what we can see for the market today? Just joined. Oh yeah, I mean, it depends where we range for now, right? But both of these scenarios could play out. We just need to see some structure, which we haven't formed yet. You see a minor resistance around 20, what was it? 2030 areas? Yeah, I mean 2030 is you know, you probably do have some supports around there, but at the moment I don't know if you're respecting that or if you're going to retrace all the way down to these areas and respect something else. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait, right? Price will show us where it wants to respect, where it wants to reject from. Yeah, so there's no need for us to guess. Because what if you guess and you're wrong, right? Why don't you just watch price when you can actually have a very educated guess, right? Who liked the thumbnail today? Did you guys see the thumbnail?
No, Joe?
You guys didn't see the thumbnail? Fuck, man.
Oh yeah, I've just seen. It's fine.
Let me open up the thumbnail. Thumbnail was fucking. I was just dissing myself. This was the thumbnail today. This is me. This is literally. I have a 9-to-5 job. I am literally just laughing at myself. Don't know for how long we'll have a. So.
How did you blow your funding?
Oh, basically, I think it was the trade previously, the one where we had massive drawdown. I did like a slightly wrong calculation, and like my full stop loss or whatever was like 5.2% or something like that, and we didn't hit stop loss, but it hit my 5%. Yeah, so I just did the calculator. It was fully on me. Like, there's nothing I could have done. Just did the calculation wrong. It's my bad.
Well, I feel like it's understandable.
Yeah. But it's the thing is, like, I've been trading that account. So.
Or sorry to cut you off, but like I think it's different for a personal account because you could say, oh, my max stop is 500 pips, and then you do the math like that, and then you can kind of be over it by like 20 pips, let's say. But if you do that on a funded,
yeah, it's gone.
Pips, it's gone. Yeah.
It's not even 20 pips. It's like the difference of like 3 or 4 pips, and it's like, yeah, you're gone because you have that spreads as well. Yeah, so I think it came down to literally like 4.9 or whatever percent, and then it was like, because I was up for the account, and then the 4.9 I was up like 5 and a bit percent, so the whole thing came down to, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, it should be good here and whatever, and then it just came down and like, literally, I think the spreads fucked me. But it's okay. It just means I'll probably stick with the same amount of risk, but one less pineapple probably, and it should be good. But it's all right. I've only blown 2 for now, so I'm not expecting to go, you know, like beast mode already. It'll be time. Oh, so you're gonna go with a funded with a small amount just to test it first? No, so I did that already. I did a funded with a 5K. I bought like a really small account with 5K, I'm just like, yeah, I just want to know how 1 to 100 feels. I want to know how like trading a funded with 5% drawdown max feels. Like all of that is just, yeah. And after that, I moved towards my 100K fundeds. You lost 5%, you gained it back, and just lost it again. Sounds like you're over risking, brother. But it's the same funded. You haven't blown it yet. But I mean, with the way you're trading, man, like, I'd say what you need to do is probably drop the risk a little bit. Unless you're very used to that risk and you're very comfortable losing 5% and gaining 5% a day. Just to see if I'm thinking right, we need to wait till the market prints candles because we don't know what type of imbalance if imbalance is what you want to convince yourself is structure, yeah, man. So it can go down really bad now or stock. Yeah, I just need to know where price is struggling. If price continues to print up at the moment, maybe at certain points, maybe above like 2050, I'll look for buys. But I need to see where price is struggling, right? It stops somewhere, and then I can look for liquidity. I can look for breakouts. I can look for structure. That's what I'm looking for. Like at the moment with this, I don't know where price is going to go, right? Does that make sense, Paolo? Yeah, nice. Yeah, Jacob, I think for the next funded, what I'm going to do is probably just not all in, but like high risk for the first phase. Because 8%, realistically, if you want to trade that yourself, it's going to take you fucking 3 months. And it's like, I can just trade my live to a point where I can just make back well, not make back, but like, it won't take that much time to refund myself for that account, right? So it's literally, I feel like fundeds are just numbers games.
How much do they cost for like a 100K one?
100K, I think I got it for like £300.
Okay.
It's really not that bad. I think like currently it's like 50% off of on ACG or whatever, but like £300 for 100K, like
Yeah, you can buy a $400,000 account for $2,000. That's crazy.
it's pretty nuts.
Like, if you
Like
tell somebody if you try to like say like you tell your parents you trade and you told them that, they're gonna think you're fucking getting scammed.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, man, you just like you're not actually trading real
Just
money.
give me $2,000 and I'm gonna get $400,000 back.
Imagine trying to explain that to a child. Yeah, so I'm gonna give you 2K here, but you're gonna give me 400K. Am I the guy on DonVo's channel? There are multiple guys on DonVo's channel. We're all the guys. We're all over him. Was that 0.5 on your 10K prop account, but lost 1% over 3 trades? That's pretty good risk management though, right? 3 trades, 1%. Which prop firm would I use? You had MFF and they got shut down, right? I think I was with MFF previously and they took my account, but I was in like the overall phases, so I was like, that's okay. And I moved to ACG next, so I'm currently, if my next one probably will be with ACG. Welcome, John.
Why don't you go with FTMO?
I mean, is FTMO any better than whatever?
Nah, I just think I feel like they're the most
Reliable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if
not even that, they've just been around the longest and
yeah, they do consistent payouts and everything. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I'll probably get one on FTMO and I'll get one on ACG just to. But I probably won't copy trades. I'll just pass one after the other. I'll just buy the accounts for now.
I remember I gambled a funded and I got paid out 10K. And then I had got the funded back again, right? Because they give it back to you.
Yeah.
And then I almost gambled again for 15K, but then I lost the same trade.
Yeah, man. Honestly, seeing your growth throughout has been nuts, man. It's been a journey. Oh, what the fuck? My funded FX is 4% daily drawdown max. I think that's the worst. Like the drawdown max is the worst part, honestly. Yeah, when they say like everybody who has, followed certain trading rules or whatever. I think that was like an ad, right? Everyone that has followed my trading rule has passed the FTMO test. Yes, everyone. No, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's a YouTube
Fuck
ad.
that guy. The amount of times I've seen that ad is insane. And it's like after I see that ad, I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested or whatever.
Or have you seen the one where it's a guy and his dad, I guess, and he's like, me and my dad have created the strategy that has
What
shit
the
like that.
fuck? I have not seen that one. I've seen the girl who's like, don't fund your trading account until you like see this or whatever.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, there's so many of them. They're fucking hilarious. One phase is FTMO two phases as well, right?
Yeah,
I
too.
think so, yeah.
I don't know if they have a one phase evaluation.
The one phase. I feel so many
Does
people just
ATG have that?
no,
Some
it's two phase.
some do.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like for the one phase ones, everyone just over risks and just like tries to deposit in one. Because it's like you don't have to do it, you don't have to gamble twice, right? It's just a one-time thing. Funded trading plus I have one phase. Yeah, I mean the one phase ones, I mean, interesting, right? But I just kind of I don't really know too much about funded, so I kind of am getting Huss's advice, but generally I'm just gonna go with the bigger companies because they seem to be more reliable. Generally, right? We say that, and then MFF had that kind of fucking kerfuffle. Fucking troglodytes, MFF. Best thing to do is get it funded around news and just trade with direction? Bruh. Are you sure about that? Yeah, the thing is with risk, you can do a lot of different things. Like having a standard lot size is just one way of doing it, right? It doesn't actually matter how you do it. It's very flexible. Like whatever works best for you. For us, it's just I don't want to calculate my lot size every single time. So I just know I have a typical stop loss around 100 to 150 pips, right? So with that, what do? I trade it so that my stop loss is 1 to 2% of the account, right? That's it. For my funded, what I tried to do is I literally had enough for 5 pineapples, and I eventually decreased down to like 4 pineapples worth. Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah, Paolo, I think we usually end up just answering a bunch of questions. So if you just stay, like, there's so many questions just get answered by just chatting. Oh, Connor left. Goodbye, Connor. Does a buy towards top wick at 2030 would make sense? What top wick? This daily top wick? Is that what you're trying to trade? Brother. This top wick is 3 pips, man. You're telling me you want to take 3 pips or 10 pips out of 3 pips? Not sure about that one. Yeah, I think that's just everyone's goal, right? Like, have multiple fundeds, like kind of what Huss and Nav are doing, being able to trade those and then depositing that cash into a live and then eventually trading your life. I mean, yeah, like any guy who trades and knows about fundeds will tell you that's the path to go down. But realistically, there's so many ways you can do it yourself, right? You can have a job on the side. You can be trading just a live account, which is small, slowly depositing that and like, you know, treating it as an investment, putting that money into that live account. You're trading consistency. You're making 1 to 2% per trade or whatever, right? Or per week. And that's enough, right? And then you slowly build up your capital that way. It's not necessarily always the funded route, right? Yeah, 10 pips a day keeps the day job away. Man, not in my case. Yeah, if you work, yeah. You have I would suggest that any new traders who come in try to have some side hustle slash job, right? Because with that you put yourself in less pressure overall to need to get trading, like, you know, down 100%. You can give yourself extra time to learn, you know, to adapt to the markets and whatever, right? Instead of being like, oh yeah, I have to make money off this because my bills depend on it. Yeah, honestly, it seems like trading in the US is so shit at the moment.
Oh no, actually, I got like a few brokers right now.
Oh, okay. So is the overall like kind of
Well,
landscape improving?
I say that because literally just today, Rogers broker Dominion,
Yeah.
they opened up. Yeah, Valentino told me about it that they opened up to U.S. clients.
Oh,
But I
okay.
have been using that other broker, KOT Forex, but not using MT5, using Trade Locker. And I kind of like
Ah,
that broker because, like I told you, it looks like MT, like trading.
right. I see. I see.
But Dominion looks like it has like the executions look
Honestly, I'm
like
so thankful sometimes that I'm not trading in the US. Number one, because of like tax. Number two, I think because of like just overall, I think just being able to use Blueberry is so nice.
Wait, I thought you use IC markets.
Nah, I just use Blueberry. Man, at some point, I forgot how good the spreads were on the fundeds, right? The spreads are like, you know, 2 pips, 3 pips, whatever. Blueberry is half a pip. You instantly save yourself like 1.5 pips. It's insane. Use Blueberry on your funded? Which funded company uses Blueberry? Leverage for Blueberry is 1 to 500.
My funded FX has Blueberry
Oh,
on it.
wow. Interesting, interesting.
That would be pretty cool. I feel like using.
That would be pretty sick. Note it down. Man, I haven't even had time to fucking take a shit today. You want me to note that down and actually go visit that shit? Like, yeah, sure, man. I haven't even had time. The guy who sent me a message yesterday saying that, oh yeah, I need to, like, could you review my trading journal? I haven't even opened his message, man. And I promised him that I'll definitely look at his journal. Imagine. It's so good that now I have like a thumbnail for every day of the week. So just rinse that. And then like occasionally if I'm feeling fucking frisky or whatever, I'll just create a new one. But we have thumbnails now, so we are good. What is the last thumbnail? Oh, that one. That one's not bad. Tomorrow's relatively standard one, but oh, I need to have some like Christmas ones or whatever as well. Which one's your favorite thumbnail at the moment?
Let me see.
There's only been 4 which I've kind of put out at the moment.
I kind of actually like the one from yesterday.
The one with like the ski helmet.
Yeah, the one that looks like you're in space.
Hmm. I like the Psychology Sunday one where Don, me and
Don's like, I don't know, does Don literally come up with it? Because I feel like he has the most creative ones. Like when I see them, like, what the fuck? That's cool as fuck.
oh no no no,
The one where
I
he was
made all of
petting the
these.
bull.
I made all of these ones.
Which one?
All of them.
All the thumbnails on Don.
These are all mine.
No, on Don.
Oh,
Like the
Don
thumbnails.
streams? Yeah, he makes. I don't know if he makes them, but I think his editor makes them or whatever.
Like the one where he was petting the bull. I like that one. That one looked funny.
Yeah, he has some good ones. I think the Mega Mind one was my fucking favorite. Let me try to find DonVo. Where is DonVo? This one. That one was done really well. I think that was just like maybe like an AI built that or whatever, but that was really good. Live actually. My favorite one was this. That was insane. Megamind. But man, his streams are long. He streams the entire New York. You guys get so much value out of that. Yeah, some of these are pretty nuts. Like these ones, right? They're done well. They're done well. And they're also like they're not like always repeated, so you have some like new content as well, which is nice. Jeez, he streamed this for 11 hours. Damn.
It's the fucking.
Yeah. What sessions do I trade? I just trade New York really. But I'm awake during like pre-New York and kind of like London session. Not really like actual London, but like late London, pre-New York. Just because I have work, so I can't. It depends if I have like a meeting in the morning, but if I don't, I can typically look at the markets and maybe get a trade. Like this morning, I think I had a 10 pipper. I think where was it?
Wait, so do you trade at your work laptop?
No. I have like because I'm working from home most of the time. I'm right next to my other laptop.
Oh.
But yeah. What did I take today? I think I took like from here. I took a sell around here down to here because I'm understanding that we need to grab liquidity or we're gonna go down, right? So if we are gonna grab liquidity, go up, we're gonna have to come down first. If not, we're also gonna come down because we're bearish. So I took a sell around here, closed off full for 10 pips here. But this was what I was expecting, right? This push here. Right after that. But it took a while to play out, but it's right. Just hold until it plays out, or until it doesn't make sense anymore, right? Do you think maybe a trade during your stream, bro? Bro, how? What do you want me to take right now, man? You want me to take this 30 flip to go up? Nah.
Honestly, you should just start telling them yes. So just stick around.
What are you?
So, yeah. We're waiting for this.
Oh yeah, guys. Nah, mainly it's because we're in a session with slightly less volume. So overall, pre-Asian session is when the markets just open up. So that's typically when you get the market kind of making its decision for the day, kind of orders left for the previous day, and just kind of it needing to filter out everything before you can get into Asian session. So usually during this time you have very few trade opportunities and just generally very low volume. That being said though, if this 30 comes down, breaks all these lows at 1917 and then flips bullish at 2030, hell yeah, I'll fucking get a buy stop in there. Asian session is in 2 hours approximately, or like an hour and a bit. Jacob, are you a mod on Don's channel?
No.
You know.
No, I feel like I'm kind of on the same wave you are. Like, I don't want to just be a mod and then feel like I have to like be in everybody's channel modding. Because then if not, it's just like I have the mod range for no reason.
Yeah. No, the thing is, I don't really care if I have the mod rent or whatever. Like, it's not going to affect my trading, is it? Am I going to get more pips after becoming a mod? No. It's like I'm going to contribute the same amount if I was a mod or if I wasn't a mod anyways, so. Yeah, Asian session 1 a.m. UK time. Currently it is 11:30 p.m. You can see right here. 11:30, so approximately an hour and a half. Why no cam? I will be setting up a cam towards next year, but at the moment it's slightly, I just need to, it's 11:30 p.m. bro. Sometimes I'm like, you know, sleeping or whatever the fuck. Or like about to sleep, so I've just showered or whatever. But I'll try to set up a cam for you guys. Jesus Christ, why do you want to see me so badly? Horny pieces of shit. But yeah, guys, there's not much we can do here. We're just waiting for price to print some structure for us. Look at your hourly. You created a top wick. Now you're going to flip. What are you going to do? No clue. No clue. But if you start ranging in this area, pretty nice, right? Something similar to this. If you can mirror this sort of range, then we can look to potentially look for bottom wicks around these areas, 2010. And then if you then get closures above 20 to 37, you may get some higher time frame trades to go up, right? But with how price has just moved like this, I would say you can basically ignore everything to the left. What you need to wait for is structure to be printed. What you can literally ignore is everything here, because none of that makes sense anymore. You need to wait to see where price is going to stop at the moment. If you put all of this, like if you take all this into account, all you can really take is like potentially the different levels that price has tapped, right? These sorts of levels, right? But besides that, you can't really look at anything at the moment, I would say. So yeah, on that note, probably going to end around here. There's not too much going on, but thanks Zooms for joining up. Thanks for the support. We will have tomorrow as our very last day before I leave from a holiday, and kind of for Christmas in general. Like up the streams before you go, guys. But yeah, Zooms, I'll speak to you guys tomorrow, yeah? Yeah, see you guys.
Yeah, see you in a bit. I might not be there tomorrow, but I'm at work. I'll try.
It's alright, it's alright. If anything, I'll send you guys a message before I'm off anyways. But
Okay.
yeah, cool. See you guys.
Right, cool, man. See you in a bit.
See you. Yeah, YouTube chat, YouTube live, or just chat. Thanks for joining up. Obviously not too much of a breakdown today because price has pushed all the way up to these areas, so there's not much we can do. Waiting for price to print some structure, right? If you then get a couple, you know, candles, you know, the hourly or your 4 hour has, you know, has no top wick, has no really any bottom wick. You just need structure. At the moment, you don't know if this is a liquidity grab for us to continue down or if this is, you know, price looking to continue bullish, right? I'm probably bullish for the short term, understanding that if anything happens, you probably need to break into these areas, and also these areas to grab liquidity regardless of where you go. But for now, I don't know which one's going to be first, right? So I can't take anything. Once you get some structure and it's looking like, oh, cool, we're looking to come down, I'll be careful because any given point, we're bullish in the short term, could look to take this back up, and this could be a liquidity grab. But if price pushes down, right, like this, again, what I'll need in terms of confirmations is a break of some of the highs, come back up, and then re-break of these lows to come down. That's my sells, and these will be my buys. Does that make sense in general? I think that's what I can impart on you guys for in terms of knowledge for tonight. Be patient, right? Just because the markets have opened and you can click the sell and buy button now doesn't mean you have to. Wait for what makes sense, what is your plan, and then take that trade. Because trust me, you won't regret that trade, and you'll be able to document that trade, right? So cool. Because price didn't really make sense for me, I am removing all drawings and waiting for structure to print. But yes, thank you very much for joining up, guys. We will see you guys here tomorrow. That's going to be the last streams of 2023, unfortunately, because I'm going back to Hong Kong on Friday. And obviously there's no Friday stream, right? But hopefully, maybe whilst I'm in Hong Kong, I may have maybe I'll be able to stream, but we'll see. We'll see. There's also Christmas, New Year, and all of that jazz, right? But overall, I'll miss you guys. I'll miss you guys, and I'll come back when I come back. Hopefully, we'll have all 200 people, all 88 people, or however many people to come back. But yeah, thanks for joining the streams, and thanks for the support. I will see you guys in the near future, which is tomorrow. Peace.